This time for sure. My computer just, I don't know, took a big fat dump, and I think I know why. So let me try to fix that straight away.
What I like is that everybody was introduced to the show by you going,
Yeah, no, fun.
I'm just,
I think I
I'm
think
just
you
saying,
overestimate the
the listening
level of
audience.
no the level of expected professionality.
Are we overreaching?
Not we.
I,
Not
I
we,
have a, I
Bob.
have a, once you have everything squared away, I do have a question about the last episode that you threw in your highlights section of your Twitch channel.
Yeah, you know we're live right now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I know we're
Oh,
live. I
okay.
want the
No, I mean
people. Well, I
we
want
are.
anyone that's listening to go check those
Oh,
out. But what I wanted to ask you is, there was, I think it said 84 followers. Does that mean 84 people watched it or listened to it?
no, that's how many followers the channel has,
Gotcha.
so to speak.
Is there any way
Um,
to tell if anybody
thr
listened to it?
well, maybe,
Okay.
maybe I can.
Well, it's your channel, so I figured there was some kind of backdoor way you could look at it.
No, but
It's a,
seriously.
it's a backdoor on the internet.
Anyhow, where in the fine ever loving fuck were we, Bon?
Oh, we were talking about potential guests and whether or not Joe Moody should be Joe Danger, which
Oh,
I think he should be Joe Moody.
I I think he should be Joe Danger. Maybe he should be Joe Moody Danger.
Joe Manger.
Whoa.
Oh, now we're getting biblical here.
Mm-hmm.
Shit just got real.
Did you notice the title of the episode?
Yes, yes, I did. I did. I noticed that. We should totally plug Joe's recording studio right now since he's
Yeah.
such a great guy.
Well, or we could wait for him to actually appear on the show and he can plug it himself.
Yeah, Joe, you're on your own, Joe.
That's normally how those things go.
Gotcha.
Speaking of how things normally go, or how they should normally go, we should normally have a guest.
Normally we would, but tonight we lost our guests.
All of them.
Yeah, all two of them.
Do you think it's something that we did, Bon?
I totally do. Well, I just think it's the fact that it's
Do you
us.
think do you think we're inadequate in some way? Possibly every way?
Well, we are fully functioning jerks, and we're known as being somewhat douchebags, so that may have played into it.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyhow,
we were going to have Moshbot on.
yeah, it's true. We were
The,
gonna have Moshbot on.
the original one and only Moshbot.
We can have him on one of these upcoming weeks. You know Dave Rocca?
I do not.
You don't.
No,
I thought you did.
that's not gas can, is it?
No, and you mean gas station.
Well, I think if you think back, I referred to
Fucking
him as
gas can.
gas can. There was a lot of alcohol. That I was a couple pitchers deep that night when I ran into him.
When you meant gas can.
When I saw a gas can, I was like, "Hey, gas can!"
Oh, gas
Hey.
can.
Uh,
Well, usually what we're supposed to do at this time is introduce ourselves
mhm.
and introduce our guest or allow them to introduce themselves if they're lucky. And then,
Feeling generous.
yeah, if we're feeling generous, but we don't have a guest. And do you want to introduce yourself?
I will. My name is.
I was hoping you would say no.
No, I don't, Mark. Why don't you run for that? I can tell you've been prepping for it.
No, I would go ahead if you want to.
Okay, all right. I am Bond the Beer Baron, and I am esteemed colleague of Demo. It's Demo 1138 here on Twitch, and
Well, I like to. I pronounce it 1138, but
Demo 1138. I was just trying to kind of streamline it and
that's
modernize
cool.
it.
You can drop the numbers entirely. Really, they're semi arbitrary.
Okay, so Demo and I are going to be hosting this once a week podcast that hopefully will provide you some kind of pleasure. If you take pleasure in other people's disappointment, then you are in the right place.
Right, and by other people's disappointment, you mean ours, right?
Well, mostly ours, yeah. If you like hearing us get disappointed, and then you want to
in,
share in that
in
disappointment,
ourselves and each other.
mm-hmm.
I have to just note to you, Bon, real quick. If you look at the overlay, you are categorically pals.
What am I?
pals.
As in,
Why it sucks with Demo and pals.
well, that'll be so. This week,
There's nobody here but me, so that makes you pals.
pals. Yeah,
The entirety of them.
I've pluralized myself in the internets.
Oh, I've done that for you. You're welcome.
Thank you. I don't think the world would thank you, but I
No, but the world's, something.
looks like we started with 2 viewers and we're back down to 0 where we should be.
That's a good pace. Anyway, now that I'm actually finally set up, I was like phoning it in. I don't know if you could tell. I was phoning it in.
I didn't notice a thing. Really, Mark?
I was trying to set everything back up after that horrific crash, and not the
You know what
stock
the
market.
great thing is that we had 2 dry runs, 2 Sundays in a row, and everything went smooth as silk. And then
Dry
for the
run.
first, and then for the first broadcast of the year, it all fell to shit.
It all poops itself. I mean, I think that's a real positive sign of things to come, don't you?
That's why the internet sucks.
Yeah. At this point in the show, we're meant to focus our attention on our guest because we have a segment that I like to call the hot seat. And
It's a seat that's hot.
yeah, and we take a topic that is near, pardon me, and dear to our guest's heart, and then and force them to explain to us why it sucks.
I love that.
Yeah, that's the name.
And
of the hot
maybe
seat.
you and I should go this time, since there's no guest and it's just the 2 of us and it's the first podcast.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
We should both be forced to
Okay,
pick something we truly enjoy and rip it to shreds.
like together or individually?
Individually, one at a time.
Okay, so I get to pick a topic for you, and I happen to know that you like beer.
I do.
What else? Let me just really just think about this for 1 second. What else do you like? I mean, I know you really like beer. Okay, so let's get more specific then.
Okay.
I'll even go after something that I like. Microbrew, like Imperial IPAs.
Okay, microbrewed Imperial IPAs, why they suck. And I'm a hophead. I love
Good luck.
Imperial.
This
Yeah.
is a tough one.
This is okay. So here's why they suck. One, there's too damn many.
No, that's a
There's
good
just
point.
too many. Another one is there's not enough hops to go around. There just isn't, and it causes what that does is it causes a major shortage for not only other breweries, other styles of beer. So, and also it becomes like this hops arms race, like who can out hop the next
right,
guy or the last
right.
guy, and that doesn't produce enjoyable beer. That just I may as well just suck on a hop cone.
Sure. Although I find that if you pair it with a proper amount of malts, you can get away with a slightly increased hop balance.
You can balance it out, but only so much. When you start going into doubles, and there are some breweries that actually make triple IPAs,
Oof. I want
Yeah.
one, Bon. I want to try this.
Founders puts out. I've never had it, but Founders puts out one. Founders is out of
I
Grand
want-
Rapids, Michigan.
I want hops that will literally burn my face off when I drink the beer.
Maybe I should just make one for you.
Like super spicy, like
Oh, yeah.
bitter.
Oh, yeah, I'll just make a really small batch and put a ton of hops.
Oh my
into
god,
it.
Bon,
Yo,
call it Hopocalypse.
I think it's already been done. Everything's
Damn
been
it.
done to death.
You
Yeah,
know
I'm
what?
serious.
Look,
Optimus
I'm-
Prime is a
Dude,
beer.
I know that. I know, Bon. I know that. Hold on. Let me just figure out how to spell apocalypse first. This is such a clusterfuck of a word.
Hopocalypse.
Okay, so that's how that. So then let's just change it. Instead of app, we change it to Hopocalypse.
Are you Googling it?
I am certainly fucking Googling it.
It's
Damn
out
it,
there
it
somewhere.
exists.
I'm telling you, it's out there somewhere. And
God
and like
Damn it.
there's and one of the chemicals in hops is lupulin, and a lot of breweries put lupulin into the name of their IPAs, or especially if it's a
Sure.
double or triple, because you can have a lot of fun with that word.
Those unoriginal bastards.
I know. Screw them all.
Nuclear Hopocalypse.
Exactly. We could at least write a song about it.
We could.
Which brings us to the point. We should probably tell people that you're in a band that I'm also in.
Whoa, hold on. Skype is kind of behaving funky weird. Say
It's,
something?
something.
Yeah, you sound like a robot.
Really? Just now, sir.
Yeah, you know, like Soundwave from the old Transformers cartoon?
Is that what I sound like?
Yeah.
Let us get back to Optimus Prime.
Ba,
And
ba,
so
ba,
on,
ba,
and so on and so
ba,
forth.
what?
And other Transformer references.
And robot, something, something.
I am a robot.
I think you're mostly back.
Then, if that's going to be the case, I'll just be Moshbot for the show.
Yeah, no, don't. You're back. You're back
Ah, crap.
in the flesh.
Shit.
In the fleshy flesh. All right. So, okay, is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn, and you have to tell me why independent video games suck.
Oh,
Because I know you enjoy independent video games. That's what Throne Zone is all about.
that's true. Okay, so let me be the first guest to act irrational and irate and act contrary to the purpose of the segment. So instead of telling you why it sucks, I'm going to fervently defend it.
Wait a minute. How could you?
But not just defend it fervently, but do so irrationally and temperamentally.
If you do that, I'm.
How
gonna
dare
get a
you,
bowl-
Bon? How dare you? How
I'm
dare
gonna
you?
get a bowl of the crunchiest cereal I can find, and I'm gonna eat it on the air. If you do that, I'm gonna eat a crunchy ass bowl.
How
I'm not
dare
even
you, Bon? How dare you insinuate that there's
I'm not even putting
anything
up
wrong
the
with independent video games? How dare you? How dare you? There's nothing wrong with independent video games. Nobody ever. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the early access model. There's absolutely nothing wrong.
I'm going to get some Pringles right now.
Oh, damn it.
I'm gonna Pringle the hell out of this show.
Well, I'll tell you what. In all honesty, what's wrong with indie right now? There's just lots of crap, man. There's a lot of crap out there. It's kind of the same thing with Imperial IPAs.
Just too much.
Yeah, and it becomes very hard to find good new stuff because, like for instance, stuff like retro graphics are in.
Oh, like the whole 8-bit thing.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily have a problem with that. It's just it makes it really difficult to look at a game and know what differentiates it from other games. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um,
But you mean because the market's so flooded with that style?
Kinda, and not just that style, but there's like certain genres that I'm really into that have gained popularity within, the past couple of years. That now there's lots of indie developers with a huge platform to release their games to the masses easily, and everybody's like latched onto this genre, and they're mostly trash because it takes a really, really, really good game designer to make a roguelike, that's the name of the genre, to make it good, and most people aren't that good, or they lack a certain degree of
We should
fucking
find one of
imagination.
those. We should find one of those game designers and have him on the show,
That's not a bad idea. I mean,
and make him tell us why it sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, make him do it. I
Yeah.
don't want to do this shit. It's not my
It's his
job.
job now.
I'm not getting paid for this.
Yeah, it's his job now.
Hey, Bon, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Would it be totally impolite of me to smoke a cigarette on air?
Didn't you do that last week?
Can you just answer the question?
No, Mark, not at all.
Damn it. Now I don't
I mean-
feel
I
like
mean-
doing
I
it
mean-
anymore.
I mean, yes, it would be so rude of you to do that. Fire it up.
No, I'm not gonna. I won't. I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna, because he told me to.
No, I'm not. No.
That sounds like you just lit a
No.
cig-
I mean, smoking's bad for the kids anyway.
You're gonna stunt your growth.
Yeah, my growth.
You're gonna rot your teeth and stunt your growth.
So, this is, well, I mean, what is it? It's only 8:30, huh? I mean, unless my clock got fucked up when my computer
no, it's
crashed.
it's
No,
8:26.
So-
This is how long it takes to banter.
Yeah, mind you, the intros probably got cut short because we're short of person, and we would really be grilling that third party.
Oh, we'd just be hammering them
Yeah, just pounding
like
away
a jackhammer.
like a jackhammer.
Like a jackhammer of misery.
Yeah, like a miserable jackhammer. Doesn't sound
Maybe
quite
that should have been the name of the show.
miserable jackhammer.
Yeah. Jackhammer of misery.
Fucking miserable jerkhammers. Um,
Well, now last week you had said that it was possible that we were going to get into the new Star Wars movie, but you had to go see it first. Did you see it yet?
well, okay, so yeah, this is why I titled the show the way I titled it,
Exactly.
because the title
like that
itself
segue?
is yeah. You're the master. You're the master of segues.
It was so subtle, I don't think anybody noticed.
Yes,
That's
that
because
was,
nobody's listening.
that was subtile. Yeah,
Nobody noticed because nobody's listening.
I have done a shit job of promoting this. I will be honest with you.
well,
I took the past week off. I just
well, I'm docking your pay.
go right ahead. No, I had a big fight with PayPal, and it was bad. I got rickrolled, which is a story
you
unto
got
its own
rickrolled?
self by PayPal.
What?
It.
They do that? Is that like if you're
Yeah,
late
they
on a
do,
payment
they
or
do.
something? That's
No,
really bad.
I was on the phone like a zillion times with them, customer service, trying to figure out a zillion different fucking things, and every time they put me on hold, which was every time,
Pretty much.
they had an elevator music version of Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up."
Wow, I
Right.
gotta tip my hat to PayPal
So-
for that one.
So
Like making your shitty
Look,
customer experience as shitty as possible.
what's really funny is that I was entirely in the right with the issue I was having.
You just got rickrolled repeatedly.
But I was entirely in the right. So when I finally got high enough up the chain of command,
Did you claw your way up?
well, I was talking to this woman, and she's trying to kind of give me this like little circle-y do a runaround bullshit. And I'm like, listen.
Let me talk to your supervisor.
Well, this was the supervisor. I'm like, listen.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, look, it's documented in your calls that I did everything that I was told to do every step of the way in order for me to access this, X number of money.
Right.
And now, after 4 hours on the phone, after, like a series of like
Rickrolls.
system bugs and shit, like now you're telling me after all the hoops I jumped through just to access my money, you're gonna tell me that I can't do it. And she's like, oh well, no. I'm like, listen, this is what we're gonna do. I'm like, you're gonna credit my PayPal account with this amount of money because this is the money that I'm out because of you guys. And I'm like, and that's
So
it.
you're kind of walking her through her.
Yeah, well, it just got to a point. I was being really polite the whole time, and I don't scream at like service people of any kind. It's just not really like a cool thing to do in general. But it just got to a point where I was like, I felt like a parent. You know what I mean? I was like, okay,
You had to wave. You had to wag your finger at her.
this is what's
Like,
this is what's going to happen. Right?
This is what's
exactly. Those were my exact words. This is what's going to happen. And I told her, and she's like, okay, right? Because, like, look, it was such a small, trivial sum of fucking money. They should have just offered to do that in the fucking first place. It's PayPal, you know what I mean? But anyway, so once that all wrapped up, and she's like, okay, I'm going to do that right now. And I'm like, thank you. And she's like, is there anything else, that I can help you with? And I'm like, yes, as a matter of fact. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but amongst your elevator music is
You
a
actually
version
brought
of
up
Rick
yours.
Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. And I'm like, I'm not sure if you know the connotations, the modern connotations of that song.
It's PayPal, man. They knew exactly
Mm-hmm.
what they were doing.
Yeah, but you want to know what? Guarantee you, Bond, I'm a first motherfucker to call him on it.
And one other thing, that hold music.
Right. You should pay,
Oh,
yeah.
that is great. I'm so
It-
glad you did that.
Absurd, man.
How dare you rickroll me while I'm trying to get my hard-earned money back?
But that said, I was so frustrated with all of this shit that I took last week off. I mean,
You know something, Mark? It's the holidays.
Yeah,
The
what
last
the
week of the
fuck?
holidays. You have every right to sit back and relax and maybe mainline some black tar heroin.
Sure,
whatever
sure.
you do to unwind and just kind of fall into a hole of depression for a week like the rest of us.
yeah.
And
But
really
you know what?
embrace the holidays.
Now would be a good time for me to address a few things on record, because I intended on making a quick highlight video saying like a state of the channel address, letting people know what's going on.
Hmm.
But I haven't done that. So
You were busy getting rickrolled.
I'll kind of half-ass it right now, but yeah, I think like basically what's going on is right now is like I'm really in the process of like totally restructuring the channel, restructuring the type of content that I'm going to be getting out to everybody. I mean, long story short, and in like full honesty, like I come onto this stream and I play these brutal ass games every day, some of the most difficult games ever made, and 9 times out of 10 it's like fun for me, but shit's been so fucking up a wall lately that it just makes me angry. And like I'm not gonna play a video game and be angry. Like that's
That's not why they made the game, Mark.
exactly. So
They made it to provide you pleasure.
right, so in the meantime, like but that's mainly the type of games that I like to play, and basically what it just comes down to is like right now I just don't feel like playing a lot of games because I'm just gonna get frustrated. But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna get content out. Doesn't mean that I stopped playing games. I'm going to pick back up sometime next week, but I'm gonna be working on a different schedule. It's up in the air for now, but I think I might, instead of doing 4 2-hour blocks throughout the week, I might do like 2 3 hours or 3 3 hours or 2 3 hours plus a podcast, something like that.
You're
But
budgeting your time.
yeah, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I think I'm gonna start streaming later in the evening too. Like I was kind of like focused on like European time instead of my own time zone.
What the hell would you do that for?
It's a long story, and there were good reasons for
Well,
it.
you know what? We got a long time.
There were good reasons for it, and it paid out. I say paid out. I mean, it worked out.
You're right.
Because basically, like when you stream a certain type of content, and there's another streamer that's known for that same either game or genre or whatever, you don't want to be streaming in direct conflict with them.
Is that considered bad form?
Well, no, it's just you're not going to get an audience, because anybody that's going to watch, Nuclear Throne is going to watch, like Sleep Cycles, for instance, because he's one of the most watched Nuclear Throne players, right? So
I know that guy. We had dinner last night.
Oh, that's funny, because he's
We-
not from around here.
Yeah, no, we had tilapia. We had one nice white fish.
Slander. Libel.
In a cream sauce with twice
It's a-
roasted mashed
It's a
potatoes.
It's a creme sauce.
A quem sauce.
Quem sauce.
Quem
Welcome,
sauce.
welcome to my lovely home. Have you tried the quem sauce?
And we had a divine evening of
Yeah.
of gamer talk.
Right.
We
Yeah, that'd be the day, Bon. Says the guy who hasn't played a video game since 1986.
86. Come on, I was like at least 88. Give me some credit here.
It was at least 88. Last time.
I used to break into my friend's house to play Jaws on
Wow,
the original
that's.
Nintendo
You're under arrest.
for.
Breaking and entering.
Oh, I thought for playing Jaws.
Oh, well, yeah, that. No, you done punished yourself enough with that one.
It
To
was
play
just
Jaws, you committed breaking and entering to play the NES version of Jaws.
I don't think it's breaking and entering if you know the people that live there.
I mean, the way you described it made it sound like forced entry.
Or knowing which door they left unlocked.
Mm, I don't know if that's.
Hey, I always cleaned up after myself.
I suppose that's fair. Did they know you were there?
I think I eventually told them.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I
That's-
eventually, I've been going in your house and playing Jaws.
That's fucking hilarious, Bon.
Yeah, it happened. I was a kid.
We should
I
call
loved
this podcast True Confessions.
True Video Game Confessions.
True Video Game Confessions. I used to break into my neighbor's house.
It was a friend. It was my friend's house. It wasn't just a neighbor. I knew them. We were on good terms.
Without their prior knowledge or consent. to play video games.
Just that one. That was the only
You
one
know-
I wanted to play.
This was what I was hoping would happen with this podcast, Bon. I would get to know you better.
Yeah, the floodgates are open.
Tell me more about your childhood. What was your mother like?
Oh, God.
All right,
We're
you know what?
We're going to have to
Don't.
rename the podcast for that one.
Yeah, don't do what I say to do.
She's a sweetheart. She's a wicked sweetheart.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. What was I talking about? We would talk about all sorts of things, like why my channel is dead.
You know what? You continue talking about the restructuring of the channel because I have to step away from the microphone for 2 minutes.
Are you gonna fart?
No, I already did that.
Okay.
But you do that. I'll be right back in a second. You talk
I
about
fart?
the restructuring of the
Oh,
channel.
that. Okay.
No, well, you can fart too. I mean, it's
Oh,
totally your call. You really? You had to like sigh of relief.
well,
All right, I'll be right back.
yeah, all right. Yeah. Now that he's gone, we can talk all sorts of wild shit about him. But of course, we're not going to do that. Yeah. So the channel, definitely going to be picking up some games, different stuff. I've been playing Crossmaster Arena. I know for a lot of people it might appear as if though that's like some kind of weird free-to-play game, but it's actually an IRL collectible miniatures game, strategy game that I like a lot, and I like to play it on a daily basis. So we'll probably do some of that next week at random ass intervals, along with some minor things. I've been, Downwell is a good chilling game, and Darkest Dungeons had a few updates that I haven't looked at yet, so maybe we'll look at that too. But as far as like a schedule goes, that's up in the air. As soon as I figure out like the best way I want to do things, we'll have a schedule up. Plus, I'm almost finished with my novel, and that's been taking a lot of my time and a lot of my focus because I just want to get it done. And so that was a whole lot of blah 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 blah. And Bon is a duty head. Oh, do you hear him? Just wait for it. Wait for it. As soon as he puts that headset on, we're gonna pretend like we were just talking shit about him the whole time. Shh. He can hear you. Here he comes. He approaches. The beer baron approaches. He doesn't approach. He left us. That's it. He's like, you know what? He finally said, fuck this shit.
Okay, I'm back.
Bond's a big duty head. Oh,
Hey,
hi,
what-
Bond.
what? I heard that last thing. I can hear you, you know.
I was just sitting here telling our mass viewership that we were going to be really quiet and wait for you to come back on and then start pretending like we were talking shit about you.
It worked.
But then halfway through, I was like, oh, wait a minute. He's not coming back. He's just finally had enough.
That's it, man.
He
40
is
minutes
gone.
into the first official podcast, and I'm fucking done with this.
He's like, you know what? I'm done. I have this serves no purpose. This fulfills
It sounded so much better on paper.
this fulfills nothing.
I am completely unfulfilled. Hey,
Every possible
last
way.
week after we had
So
finished.
speaking
the
of being unfulfilled,
Hey, while we're on the topic, last week, I after we were done with the podcast, the test run, I went and I've never been on Twitch before. This is my first experience with it.
yeah, I know,
And
you're
so
an
I
internet
decided
newbie doob.
Well, sort of, but okay, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I went to, there was a list of related channels on the left side of the screen from your home screen, and I went to one of them, and it was like a person, seems like a very nice person, and they were drawing Star Wars figures, and so you could see on the video, you could see the drawing that they were doing, and then they had the camera on themselves, so they're talking.
Sure.
And then there's a little chat stream going up the side of the screen.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had 108 viewers. 108 people were watching this person draw on their computer.
Yeah, man.
I'm
And,
thinking to
well,
myself, how come we don't have 2,000 by now?
well, I mean, Bon, we're not doing anything.
Yeah, this is true. Well, we are really entertaining, Mark.
Um. Oh, the other thing I've actually forgot to mention while you were gone because
You were
didn't
busy
want to.
talking trash.
Yeah. I'm going to, I think, finally this week debut my YouTube channel.
Oh, hey.
And this video you might be listening to on YouTube by the time you hear it, actually.
Can you just listen to stuff on there? I thought you had to have, like, I thought it was, you were legally required to have video.
Dude, I will fucking legally crap all over the place.
I thought you were legally obligated to provide YouTube with video.
I don't think that's the case.
Well, I'm calling YouTube, and I want to be put on hold so I can hear Rick Astley.
Oh, anyway, YouTube.
What are you doing over there? You sound like you're still, like, kind of, like, setting stuff up and dialing it in.
Oh no, I'm doing that that cool new modern office technique where you stand at your desk.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm desk standing.
I've heard that sitting at your desk is like the new, it's like the new, what's the word I'm looking for? That's like a threat to your health.
Oh, threat to your health.
There you go.
Mm.
You nailed
Yeah.
it.
No, you
Yeah,
can't sit
sitting
down
at your
at work.
desk is like the newest, like, threat to your health. If you
Yeah, man,
sit,
you'll get back cancer.
I've already got that, man. It's
I
terrible.
got back cancer 3 times already.
3 times.
Each time it comes back more powerful than the last time.
But then does your body heal even stronger?
Yeah, I'm like Wolverine.
I was just going to
It's
say,
really fast.
you're pretty much bulletproof by now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like,
Well, just your back, though.
I mean, go ahead, try to shoot me in the face.
Oh, don't tempt me.
I know a guy who basically, between a couple of friends of his, managed to get a
Shot in the face?
Kevlar bulletproof vest and a loaded pistol,
Oh, yeah, they did that on,
and he suggested that somebody shoot him.
don't tell me they went aimed for the face.
No,
Okay,
but
all
they
right.
shot him.
No, that was already done. That was done by
No, like 2 people that I know.
Oh, these are actual, like,
These are
human
real
beings.
people
Okay.
that are that stupid.
Are they from West Warwick, Rhode Island?
No, they're from Johnson, or at least we're from Johnson the last time. Like anybody knows where fucking Johnson is.
Well, you know, the funny thing was that I saw this. There was a recent census statistic released that Johnston, Rhode Island, has the second highest Italian population in the country,
Forget about it.
which I interpreted as Johnston, Rhode Island has the second largest population of Americans who think it's cool to call themselves Italian in the country.
Yeah. Well,
Because how many of them do you think were born in Italy?
look, I'll tell you what. These guys that I knew from Johnston, right? These guys were fucking wapoli as fuck.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm Italian. I can say
Hey,
that.
Right, and I am of Italian descent. I'm American, but I am of Italian
Oh,
descent.
right. Yeah, I know that. What you
I wasn't
said.
born in Italy.
No, I wasn't born in Italy either. Thanks.
So you're
fucking
American.
Christ. Yeah, no, I'm American.
American.
This is America, dude. That Italian shit, that's un-American.
You're not American. You're not American enough.
American.
So these guys are like, hey, Joey Spaghetti, shoot me in the face, or you know,
Hey, Eddie Spaghetti.
Eddie Spaghetti, that skinny little guinea with the ravioli eyes. Have him shoot me in my chest 'cause I got one of them there Kevlar suits on.
Oh, forget about it.
Hey, I'm breaking your beans.
I'm busting your boat. Yep.
How do you lose that? How do you lose that thread?
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Who knew? I mean, that I would just become totally disinterested in anything that you had to say.
You folded like a wet paper bag.
I'm eager to move on to the next topic because, like,
All right, what is it?
without the third person, you know,
No, I don't.
uh,
Oh wait, yeah, I totally do.
I'm like struggling to make time here. You know, like
We could always do it for an hour tonight.
that's true. I mean, if
As long as
All
we
right.
start on time, then the length can be contingent on the viewership and the guests.
that's what she said.
Hey.
I didn't see that one coming.
Hashtag
Oh, that's what she said.
You did there.
That's also
Hashtag.
what she said.
Hashtag that's what she said. Hashtag
Ah.
see what you did there. Can I
That's also-
hashtag like vocal stuff?
duh, like hashtag and then a noise.
Do you know that you literally just said duh?
I totally did because I have no idea what you meant. Can I hashtag vocals? What do you
Hashtag I don't know.
hashtag duh?
Hashtag duh.
Anyhow, I figure
Moving on.
one way or another, we shouldn't top out at any more than an hour and a half today without a guest, which
I agree.
would at max give us another 40 minutes. But I figure at least another half hour. So let's move on to a topic
Moving
that is
on.
beloved by billions.
Sex.
No,
Okay.
more fans than
Oh.
sex.
Wow, more fans than sex. You too?
No,
Wow, we're really getting in the weeds here.
and they're more ravenous and biased than
Zombies.
YouTube fans. They are a little more lively than zombies.
Okay, all right. I feel like I'm getting warmer. It's not you too.
Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars.
Oh man, I really wish I could remember the Indiana Jones theme song because I would have like hummed that instead.
All I can think of right now is the scene from Cable Guy when they're at the medieval.
I've never seen Cable Guy.
Well, yeah, they go to a medieval themed fried chicken place, and then they end up fighting in the ring, and Jim Carrey is doing the fight sounds from a Star Trek episode,
Okay.
and he's just. It's really good, and that's all I can think of right now.
So, it sounds like something you would like.
Well, yeah. Mark, the bar is really low.
Yeah, it's yep.
The bar is really
You
low.
heard it here fucking first. But yeah, Star Wars. There's a new Star Wars movie out, which means that you inevitably have gotten your fucking face jammed with more Star Wars bullshit than you have ever asked for.
Mark, I have never seen a movie commercialized and marketed the way this has. I saw the other day I was watching TV. I saw 4 different car commercials,
Oh God.
all using Star Wars music, which means they had to get the licensing rights,
Sure.
and all using like Star Wars, imagery. And if that doesn't beat all, CoverGirl makeup line has put out a Star Wars.
Oh, that's relevant to the franchise.
Exactly. I mean, it's a Star Wars themed makeup line. Like it's literally like licensed with the logo and the whole nine. I don't know. I mean, when I think of Star Wars, I think of like Jabba the Hutt and Boba Fett. What is CoverGirl going to draw from Jabba the Hutt that's going to become marketable? That's
You know,
something
that
masses can make use of.
nothing says sultry like that green slime dripping from the mouth look. Han Solo.
That's what I look for.
But Bon, that just like speaks to a point that I make all the time about Star Wars fans, is that there's a certain breed of Star Wars fans, and sadly, it's the majority of Star Wars fans.
Hashtag
that-
Star Wars.
If there is the word Star Wars stamped on an object, that object is somehow good.
You could brand a piece of dog turd with the Star Wars logo and put it into a plastic baggie and sell it for $15 online.
And they'll be like, "This is awesome," and I'll be like, "No, that's my poo."
It's poop.
And they'll be like, "You just don't get Star Wars."
And you'd be like, no, you just don't get how dumb you are.
And I'd say,
that's
"No, you just don't get shit."
literally.
But yeah, it's that kind of shit that like, I mean, look, I'm a big
It's that kind of shit.
yeah. That sucks.
That's why it sucks.
Right.
And so here's my
I'm
interpretation.
a big sci-fi guy, Bon. I like don't mind. Hey, you know what, Bon? You want to do that thing that I did and talk for a little while about your experiences with Star Wars?
I could.
Go. I'll be right back.
So the whole why it sucks, which is the whole nucleus of this podcast, is we look at a topic, we look at why it sucks. Tonight we're looking at Star Wars. Star Wars itself doesn't suck. What sucks is the fact that it has been marketed to death. That there is CoverGirl, makeup, Dodge, trucks and Jeep Cherokees and Fiats and all these different things that pay for the licensing rights, use the imagery, use the logo, and just market the hell out of it. And it's just been marketed to death.
I haven't heard a damn thing you said, and I am sure that it would have bored the hell out of me.
Oh, I am guaranteeing you that whoever had to sit through the last 45 seconds probably hung themselves.
Right. But
Just to get away from my voice.
I am going to have to wrap this up a little bit earlier than expected, as it turns out. Because if I expect to get myself to the grocery store, it's going to happen within the next 10 minutes or so.
You're just a slave to the grocery store, man.
I'm slave to eating.
That's why it sucks.
I hate eating, Bond. That'll be next episode. Eating. I hate eating.
Well, you know what the thing is with you is that you hate it because you wait to the last possible second, and then
Ugh, and
then
everything
it's
is
terrible.
crap, Bond. Everything is crap.
It really
This
is. I'll give you that.
This is why this show is perfect for me, because I look at everything and I'm like, wow, what a load of shit.
That's
I
just
can't
crap.
believe that people like this crap. Which leads me back to our topic, Star Wars.
Okay.
I'm a big sci-fi guy. That's my impression of a Star Wars alien. Let me start all over again. Hey, chuta.
I loved it. I loved it.
Look, I'm a big sci-fi guy. I like science fiction a lot, but which means that I got roped into this whole thing. Like, I had to go see the new Star Wars movie. It's a known and successful science fiction franchise with being directed by a known science fiction director. Like, I had to see the movie.
Let me ask you this: when you say known, do you also mean respected?
Not universally, but
Well,
by some.
known is one thing, but respected is entirely different. They can
No,
be known
I mean-
for making terrible stuff.
The director is J.J. Abrams. He's got kind of a mixed record.
He did the Transformers movies, right?
No, that's Michael Bay.
I hate that guy.
He's a piece of shit.
He sucks.
Somebody should run him over.
Hopefully, a Transformer will.
Don't run him over. If you do,
We didn't tell you to.
yeah. And even if we did, we didn't mean it.
It was a joke.
Ha ha ha, Michael Bay.
Don't run over Michael Bay.
Please. I would.
But do
but
kick
do-
him in the shins if you.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
take
kick him
his
in the
wallet.
shins. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, okay.
Yeah,
If
maybe.
you kick him in the
Give it
shins
back
hard
to him. Just
enough-
don't steal it. Just take it from him and then play like monkey in the middle with
Yeah,
it.
there you
with
go.
him.
Yeah, have a friend.
Yeah. Anyway, so I saw the movie, and I'm not going to talk about any spoilers or anything, but it really was the most neutral experience I've ever had in my life.
Wow, that's given all
It's
the lead
not
up,
bad,
but given all the lead up and the hype, that's a bad review.
given how much terrible movie making there is out there.
Mm-hmm. There's no
Like-
shortage.
Like, neutral is actually fine. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's so much trash that neutral is good.
Right.
But I was just so neutral about the whole fucking movie.
So
Neutral,
nothing about it moved you
no. I
because
was like, oh, this is Star Wars. You know, like that's it. That's all it was
then,
what
like,
you know about Star Wars.
and then cue the tumbleweed.
Right. It's literally like that's, you know what? I think that's the best way to summarize the movie is it is what you know about Star Wars. It's the
And
fucking
it's nothing more, nothing less.
TIE fighters, X-wings, the pew pew pew, you know, the lightsabers, the
Right,
little
red
robots.
lightsabers.
You know, it's almost like the last trilogy that they did. You know, they got so much criticism that it was too different from the original movies that when they made this movie, they're like, okay, we can only put stuff in this movie that the audience is familiar with.
Basically, they played it safe.
They played it so safe, Bon.
It came out as being generic.
It really did. It really did. The
That's
villain,
too bad.
I mean,
Because the whole appeal of the and when I say the original movies, I mean the ones that came
Yeah.
out in like the 70s and 80s. The whole idea, and I am not by any means a Star Wars super fan, but I loved those movies as a kid because nothing like it had ever been done before. And there were scenes that were like that would move you, that were so engaging and so
Sure.
awesome to watch that you felt like this is great to watch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just too bad that it's just
No,
become
I
it's too bad
just
that it's become safe.
yeah, and like that's I want to stress this before I receive death threats in my email from some rabid Star Wars fan. It wasn't bad. Like I didn't hate it. I didn't regret spending. Well, I had a movie pass, but I didn't regret spending the movie pass on the movie.
But it didn't move you.
No, and it didn't. It made me also cautious and wary about the next movie because if so little about this movie blew my mind,
Right, like
what
what
are
could they
they?
possibly do next time?
Yeah, right. What could they possibly bring to the table next time that's gonna make me excited about this? But no, and the thing is what I just hate the most about all of this is not that the movie was disappointing. What I hate the most about this is that the movie was disappointing, but 98% of the people that call themselves Star Wars fans will defend it to the death and accept no other critique other than it was excellent.
Just because it was Star Wars.
Right.
And I agree with you 100%. I mean, I understand being a super fan. I understand about geeking out over something or being a total nerd over something. I support that because it shows passion, and you can't fake
Sure,
passion.
sure, sure.
But
But I'll tell you what, if somebody came to see us play in our band and they behaved that way, I would mock and ridicule them publicly.
and that's the thing, and it's funny you should mention that because my next comparison was going to be music.
Sure.
Listen, there are bands that I absolutely love, and they put out shitty albums sometimes.
True.
I'm not going to defend a band that I like.
Right.
I'm not going to defend their shitty album
Exactly. Right. And in
know?
fact, you're going to be extra critical of this shitty album because you know
because
how
they
good
made
they
such
can
good
do.
stuff. Exactly, they made
Right.
such great music, and I
Now,
know what the potential is.
really quick, let me just add into the fact that we might want to revisit this topic of Star Wars in the future because Mike from Whiskey Fire
Yep,
is an enormous Star Wars fan,
James Hetfield.
and I would really love to get him on live internet blowing his top.
Let me tell you something. If he's
just
going to
losing
lose
his
his
shit.
cool, if he's going to lose his cool, we want him.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what we want. We want you to flip your shit. But anyhow, Bon, I'm gonna begin to end this stream.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it was a little quick. It was a little bit
It was
more
an, it was
brief.
a, it was a solid 1 hour.
It really was a solid 1 hour, despite the minor technical difficulties, which was weird. That should never happen again. I think I know
And
what
when
caused
we
it.
get our guests lined up, I think it'll be a lot more banter, a lot more interesting.
Yeah, next week we're looking at either C4, the drummer from the Paraplegics,
Hmm.
my good friend Marco from University, who is also Moshbot from the
He is
Paraplegics.
full-time moshbot.
He is, or Joe Moody Danger from Danger Studios, Danger Multi-Track in
Fuck it, bring
Providence.
them all in.
But I also got people like my younger brother. You don't know him, but he's a real interesting guy. He's up on the line. He's another demo. I got Brian Rice from Whiskey Fire is actually also a really cool dude, and I'd like to have him on.
And
But
I have a few good ideas for the upcoming year. I'm going to keep them in the back pocket. I'll share them with you, Demo, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not going to share them with the audience because I don't want to ruin any surprises.
right, and so basically, what's going on for me is like once I'm going to put a little bit more work this week than I did last week into this stuff and make sure that we got guests lined up well in advance.
Yeah, you fucking better.
Yeah, I mean, look, I am finishing a novel that I've been working on for like ever,
What a
and
novel idea.
I was like, you know what? I'll never like have the time to do this again, so I might as well just do it, right? And I've just been pouring a lot of my time into it, but it like as soon as it's done, which should be any day now, I'm gonna put like a full day into getting everything updated and doing some cool stuff for the podcast and our future.
Right on.
And yeah, pay attention to the channel description in the oncoming weeks for the link to my YouTube channel, where you will be able to rewatch or watch for the first time older podcasts as they collect up. Who knows? One day, this might be like one podcast buried under hundreds that people will be searching through, and people want to listen to every single episode, and here we are.
The
And
very first one.
yeah, and we'll be talking to them through like time.
And hopefully, when they come back and listen
Ooh,
to
I'm
this
from the
one,
past. Ooh.
hopefully when they listen to this one, they'll be like, "Wow, it's so much better now. That first one really sucked."
It sucks even more now. That's the way I like it.
These guys are going downhill fast.
Anyhow, everybody, or nobody, or anybody, I have been Demo1138, and I will continue to be Demo1138 despite the fact that the podcast is ending. And as always, I have been joined by my illustrious and sultry co-host, the Beer Baron Bon.
That's me.
Say goodbye, Bon.
Goodbye, Bon.